to Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcaster Valentino.
It's Mike's Daily Podcast.
The last place on earth. It's Mike's Daily Podcast. What? There's some interesting things here I'm going to sing to you, but first I'm going to have to say I'm through singing. I'm now going to talk. That's how we're going to get through the rest of this song. I locked it down. So it turns out, Mike's Daily Podcast. If you like coffee, the national average for a latte is $5.46. Daily. Just so you know. Podcast. If you were thinking, I almost went for one yesterday. Yeah. I was not in Podcaster Valentino yesterday. I was up in Richmond and over in Berkeley. I was checking stuff out with my lovely lady friend. We went up into the mountains there. Oh, it was quite an active day. Saw the Rosie the Riveter Museum over by the Richmond Marina. And then we're walking around and there's a lady with her German Shepherd, her like 5-month-old German Shepherd puppy. And she's walking around and she comes up to us and she says, "See that guy over there?" And we go, "Yeah." And she goes, "He's following me. I think he's going to try and steal my dog." Yeah, that really happened. We're at this beautiful spot right by Rosie the Riveter. There's this huge, used to be one of the factory warehouse rooms that they worked on things that worked on cars for the Ford Motor Company. And then it was when the war happened, the Second World War, it turned into a production room for Jeeps and tanks. And of course, you've heard the story of Rosie the Riveter and all the hard workers that lived in Richmond. And then it was abandoned, and somewhere around the 1980s, oh yeah, the Loma Prieta earthquake, it completely devastated it. So it had to be rebuilt. And
here's today's podcast picture.
Now it's this beautiful, open, huge room. They have parties, concerts in there. And now that ball that people play, that's really big. That it's like tennis, but with the paddles. Wiffle ball, something like that. They're playing that these days in there. Big, there's 20 courts in there for that. And there's some table tennis courts as well. The late great Basil the Boxer and I walked past there as well. Years and years ago. So this lady says, "Can you just, do you mind if I just walk with you guys until that guy goes away?" And we said, "Sure." And sure enough, the guy walked away. He got in his car, drove away. And she said, "Yeah,
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah." She was really thankful to us. Sometimes you need to be smart like that, especially, unfortunately, in the Bay Area, in California, any of the major cities. We've got big problems going on.
Which is a very good thing.
No, it's not.
Which is a very, very good thing.
It's the opposite of the good thing that happened to that guy during the debates. Oh, wow. It's bad now. It's so funny, though, because I still hear conservatives so worried. They live in fear. They've always lived in fear, and I learned this when I saw Rudy Giuliani give his speech at one of the Republican National Conventions.
Mike, it's Mikey Fikey. Great.
This is way before his problems with defending Trump over the elections, but there's this thing. Oh, yeah. He wasn't running for president, but I think George W. Bush was against Kerry. And Giuliani got up there and...
That's a nightmare of a show.
And just went into the nightmare of 9/11 and everything, and just got everybody worked up into a lather about don't try anything like with John Kerry, because that could go really bad. Go with W. Bush. But yeah, the people are worried. If I was a conservative,
everybody make some noise!
I'd sound like this guy who's all shouting and stuff.
Bringing to you
like that,
live,
very happy
from
Podcaster Valentino.
Podcaster Valleymont.
That's what I meant.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Thank you very much. This is so wonderful to be recognized in that way. But I what do you got to worry about? The guy melted on stage. The president of the United States melted on stage. Trump's already got the bona fides of being a president before. He's got all these people that will vote for him. People have tried to take him down. Nikki Haley. Oh, Nikki Haley is now worried. Hey, Biden might pick.
What's the cliche of the week?
He might drop out. Oh my gosh.
What's the cliche of the week?
Just all the fears that conservatives have.
What's the cliche of the week?
They should just be happy.
What's the cliche of the week?
Do their victory lap. But yeah, that's what we need in California. We need a little less fear. Like that woman yesterday had fear with her dog. That was ridiculous. Now, my lovely lady friend and I were there to be
What's the cliche of the week?
a helping hand.
What's the cliche of the week?
I was wearing a big orange shirt.
What's the cliche of the week?
And being bald and such.
What's the cliche of the week?
That would probably scare anyone away, so that scared the guy away. But the podcast picture's not of any of that, though. It was of Half Moon Bay. We were there recently. I tried to pull a picture. I have some pictures up in the Microsoft OneDrive. I don't know if you've heard of that, but that is that's their cloud, basically. Instead of Google Drive, it's called OneDrive. They've had that for a while now. And it would not let me open any pictures. They've just updated it to make it some kind of web browser friendly thing, and it's terrible. It just does not work. So that's my ridiculous random post about that. But yeah, coffee. And I was really hot. I could have drank a lot of
Ridiculous random post.
iced lattes yesterday, which of course, when it's really hot, you shouldn't drink caffeine. You shouldn't drink alcohol. You should just drink water. But the national average for a latte is $5.46. In Hawaii, it is the most expensive at $6.69. California is a little bit higher than average, but not as high as Hawaii. It's at $5.84. And a regular coffee is $3.88. Why can't you make
The Newsbleed section.
all this news? Why can't you make your own coffee? Anybody can do it. People actually go to McDonald's to buy the coffee. Oh, it's so good there. It's what? Here's how much profit McDonald's makes on its $5 combo meal, which that is amazing. They still do that. I would never eat that. Somebody brought me some fair food the other day because the Alameda County Fair is going on. One of the podcast pictures.
Rip someone a new one.
One of the podcast pictures was from there. I'm going to rip the people that make these foods at the fair a new one. You're trying to kill me. Stop it. But yeah, there's no reason why anyone my age should eat that stuff as we go outside a Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. The last place on earth. They make a 1% to 5% profit margin on their combo meals. That means about 25 cents per meal is the profit they make.
Yo, the Mike tip.
That's my Mike tip. Oh, fillers, Botox, facelifts, neck lifts, they're spiking by 7%. Due to the GLP-1 drug boom of medications like Ozempic and Wegovy, it is leading to rapid weight loss, and that's causing sagging skin. Uh-oh. Sagging skin. So people are having to go in to get surgeries to alleviate that, or to pump it up with the Botox.
The Myclopedia Insanika.
I don't know. Maybe those drugs are doing worse for us. Some people need them to get the weight down because of other health issues, but it's creating other issues, isn't it? Isn't it? As I look through the Myclopedia Insanika, I was contemplating the other day about how Biden, anybody following, like, really, it's tough to be a political candidate supporter if you are someone that is
Mike's absolutely useless review.
This is my useless review about that. You know, we seem to do mental gymnastics to defend politicians. That's right, mental gymnastics to defend politicians. You've got these Democrats now trying to defend having Biden run for president when the guy is obviously falling apart. And hearing me say that now, I know if I would have said that on this show 6 months ago, I would have immediately told myself you're being ageist. But no, what we saw during the debate was what everybody on the right has been warning us for so long. So you probably saw that. Maybe you saw that live and local.
Live and loco.
Maybe it was live and loco. But yeah, it was what was going on? So should that really represent us? When you are in the spotlight during a debate, you are so in the spotlight at that moment. This is what historically they will judge you on. This is your job interview. And if you fail that, then you maybe make room to... Now, we did this before. I was alive, but I don't remember it because I was only one. Barely one. 1968, Lyndon Johnson dropped out. And this had to do with the Vietnam War and all the protests were going on, and he didn't want to be part of it. So then his vice president ran. Robert Kennedy ran as well, but he was killed. So it was a very bad year. Martin Luther King Jr. got killed that year. I was born that year. But yes, it was...
Matthew's News.
It was these things that when these big changes happen, I don't know if a party can survive. If suddenly Biden gets replaced with Gavin Newsom, I don't see how. And I'm not a fan of Gavin Newsom. I do not like what this... Oh my gosh. I spent some time in Oakland the other day, over the weekend. Wow. People just do not care. I know that's not necessarily Gavin's fault. It's that other mayor, the mayor's fault, who's being investigated by the FBI and all that. But yikes. It's just like anything goes in that town. It's crazy. But I know. I'm a little bit of a whiny white man with all this.
Well, I like
The whiny white man wine list.
I suddenly got into a traffic jam as I whine. And I'm white. And Biden said that Trump was a whiner. But yeah, I was stuck in traffic. And it turned out it was a bunch of people on bikes that were pro-Palestine. Pro-Hamas? I don't know. But definitely pro-Palestine, and I was like, okay, everybody did this illegal right turn to get around them, or it was a left to a right turn, something like that, just causing all kinds of problems, those protesters. But anyway, back to the protests in Vietnam, which led to Lyndon Johnson.
News random.
Not running, though he could have run. He had only been president for one term. He finished up Kennedy's term because Kennedy was assassinated, and then he did one term. He could have done a second term, but he bowed out. And then we had Nixon become president, who was a Republican, beat the Democrats. But that was a crazy year. Lots of other weirdos were running for president that year.
Oh, yeah.
If you remember. But I don't remember because I wasn't really... my brain was super small. It's gotten a little bit bigger since then. My point is... What the defending that people do, and then on the other side for Trump with the whole election and coming up with all these theories about how he actually won the last election. Just say he lost.
Mike's Daily Podcast Master Pod Theater.
He lost the election, but he won that debate. Here's my Master Pod Theater of the debate. Here we go. Mr. President, what do you think about climate change? Yeah, we did a thing with the climate. We don't do, and he won't even announce. Former President Trump, what do you think about climate change? I'd just like to pick up what he was saying earlier about me. I never did that. We did a great job. We've always done a great job. We'll always do a great job. He did a terrible job.
Mike's Scavenger Hunt.
And that's all I can find in that area. Weren't we talking about coffee? How did we get on this? Oh, Botox. No? Oh, the K. The Olympics. Oh, the K. Okay, the Olympics. That's what I meant. NBC's Paris Olympics opening ceremony going to be in IMAX theaters. That's a colossal waste of money, but some people love that. And Waymo in San Francisco. The robo-taxis. Self-driving cars, after more than a decade of overhyped chatter, are actually getting somewhere. Waymo is opening up its robo-taxi service to anyone who wants to ride in San Francisco. They began its commercial test service. In August of 2021, they did a rollout to pre-approved riders. Then in March of 2022, they began offering driverless rides for its staff. There have been 300,000 people that have been in robo-taxis. And Waymo's trying to cement its lead in the robo-taxi industry. But there's lots of heightened scrutiny of the driverless car industry after a series of crashes and complaints from city officials about obstructions and delays. You've heard about in the courts. Gavin Newsom actually said, no, kill it. Kill the driverless car. That was Cruise, though, wasn't it? The big unanswered question, and that's a driverless vehicle that just walked by, Nilly the horse. How much money Waymo can make is the question, and when will it earn back the billions Alphabet has put into Waymo? Yes, Google put a lot of money into Waymo, interestingly enough. Let's see. So we just heard from Benita. Oh, look who's here. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing?
It's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player, tell you what.
What?
That was an awesome debate. I loved it. I loved watching Biden melt into a pile of goo. It was great, and I think the next one's going to be even better. There ain't enough cocaine they can shove up that guy's nose to make him work anywhere closest to what Trump can do. Tell you what.
What?
I hate the fiddle.
You do. That's why you're the Disgruntled Fiddle Player. Look who else is here.
Hello, am I going to make this swoop and drink right now? Could you? Oh, boy.
Thank you. The Brewmaster. Oh, what's in that root beer? Oh, it's very interesting.
Yeah, put fair food in it. Oh, boy.
I don't know how you put fair food in root beer. Don't they try to deep fry root beer? I've heard of that. That's a crazy endeavor, I think.
Wow, shuts, wow.
Wow, shuts, wow. So speaking of German words, so my ex-wife's cousin is in Europe right now and is posting picture after picture on Instagram of his wife and his daughter, and they're going to all these places and they're having so much fun. And June is a good time of year to go. You don't want to really go in July or August in Europe because it gets really, really hot. And I'm a little bit jealous, but I'm also a little bit, dude, you want to post that many pictures? And these are just open to anyone? You should dial that back a bit. And I know this from experience, because in 2009, I went to Germany and I posted all those pictures on YouTube. And they're still up there. And some of them I probably shouldn't have posted, but I'm thinking, oh, this is this new thing called, what did I say? Facebook. I posted on Facebook, not YouTube. Look at it, it's not going to cause any problems. But yeah,
Let's go back with Matthew.
Oh, we're going to go back.
Cassette copy.
We're going back in time, everybody. Whoa, here we go. So Mike Matthews, that's the guy doing this podcast. He's on YouTube, youtube.com/Mike's Daily Podcast. He's also trying to be, he tried to be on TikTok, but that failed. Didn't work out. But YouTube is still beating TikTok, by the way. It's been almost 20 years since the founding of YouTube, 20 years. They have effectively invented user-generated content. So many people have tried to do user-generated content. It's wonderful because then you don't have to make anything. The user does it. YouTube made up to 9.7%. It's made up of 9.7%. All of its viewership is on connected and traditional TVs in the US. Think about that. YouTube made up 9.7% of all viewership on connected and traditional TVs in the U.S. Netflix ranked second. They have 7.6% of all the viewership with people that are connected. So YouTube is beating them out. They have Netflix is at 7.6, YouTube is at 9.7. Users watch more than 1 billion hours of YouTube content on TV screens every day. Yours truly has been doing that for years now, especially during COVID, because there we were stuck in the house and there were people still out of the house, going around, traveling, going to interesting places around the U.S. Those YouTubers, suddenly their viewership shot through the roof. And I don't know how they're doing now, because I've actually stopped unsubscribed from a lot of those people, because they were really annoying. They'd shove the camera right in their face, and they were not the prettiest people on the planet. And they would eat, hey, this is me eating the new Taco Bell gordita. Like, I do not need to see you eat. That does not equate to me eating it, watching you eat it. So I had to unsubscribe a lot of those people. And then a lot of them had really shaky cameras, so they'd walk around and they just kind of jostle the camera, and when you're watching on a big screen, that will make you sick real quick. So users watch more than 1 billion hours of YouTube content on TV screens every day. More than 150 million Americans watch YouTube on connected TV screens. Let's see now. Rob Black, who I got all this information from, and you can hear him on AM 1220 KDOW weekday mornings. And he's also on Cron TV Monday through Thursday in the 9 o'clock hour. He says, I'm not talking about your mobile phone, your laptop, but the biggest screen in the house, the TV. I sort of know what I'm going to watch tonight on Netflix, Disney, and Warner Brothers Discovery. But with YouTube's non-narrative, creator-led content, I am surprised every night. Oh, I see what he's saying. He's saying, yeah, the stuff that you catch on usual streaming services, Disney, Paramount Plus, Warner Brothers, all that, Max, it's all stuff you're like, yeah, I know what's going to happen next. You know what's going to happen next. And it's Hollywood. They follow the rules that were passed down in front of them, and the things that they've learned in college, at film school, etc. But yeah, YouTube, you don't know, because these are amateurs. They're learning as they go. YouTube took in $31.5 billion in advertising revenue. And that is up from 8 years ago. Well, what's fascinating is 6 years ago, let's just say they were making 271% less than that. So they have really shot up in the past 6 years. Okay, yours truly, Mike Matthews, did once upon a time, before all this social media stuff and YouTube, etc. He was on the radio in Ventura County at a station called The Bus that no longer exists, but it was an interesting format. It played music from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and I was just in my 20s. So let's go back with Matthews and hear a little bit of that station now.
More than old days, The Bus, 96.7 and Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world.
What?
Or at least take a big chunk out of it. The Bus presents another exciting night.
Everybody wants to rule the world, or at least take a big chunk out of it, was what Mike said. Okay, don't know. Once again, I'm using this OneDrive equipment, and it is failing big time. Microsoft, y'all gotta work on this stuff.
Monday Night Football fun going on at the Breakers Lounge. Inside the Holiday Inn Beach Resort in Ventura. There are going to be lots of great things going on, including $70 gift certificates from Pro Image. Stephanie Rose will be there broadcasting live. She'll give you the chance to win tickets to see Rick Springfield, Dave Mason at the Ventura Theater. You can come out and meet Lisa and Janet. They are our Heartbreaker babes, and they are extremely beautiful. All the fun happens tomorrow night, right here with The Bus, 96.7 at the Breakers Lounge in the Holiday Inn Beach Resort in Ventura.
Hi, everybody. It's Ray.
We had Heartbreaker babes? Wow. I don't remember that. This is back in, 1992 is when this radio station existed and where this recording came from. And Dave Mason was still alive. He has since passed. He was the guy that sang, "So let's leave it alone, 'cause we can't see eye to eye. There ain't no good guy. There ain't no bad guy. There's only you and me, and we just disagree.
Oh my gosh!
The bottom of the chart.
Pretty good songs that never made it on the radio because people didn't think they were worth it. But you know what? They come back up and people start playing them, and it's like, where'd that come from?
KXBS Santa Paula Ventura, The Bus, 96.7. The Bus, 96.7. Mike Matthews with you on a Sunday night, 7:06. Time to hear a word from Cheech and Chong.
Oh, that sounds like a Fleetwood Mac song. If I would hazard a guess, that's a Fleetwood Mac song.
It's The Bus, 96.7. Mike Matthews with you on a Sunday night, 7:16. And we ain't stopping for nobody, no how, no way this hour with Paul McCartney. Let him in. More than oldies, The Bus, 96.7. Make sure to join us every weekday afternoon at 3:40 for Name It and Claim It. Jim West will be here. He'll play a short piece of a song. If you can identify it correctly, you'll win the big prize of the day. Only here on The Bus, 96.7.
I saw something recently that was, of course, Brian Setzer and Stray Cats. I am glad to see that he's out performing again and doing his old Stray Cats stuff. He was doing a kind of a weird country thing for a while. He can do whatever he wants. He's amazing. But wow, it's fun to hear his older stuff. But he's a very nice guy, by the way. Met him twice. Once after a Bryan Adams concert. Around that time, 1992, he came out of a Bryan Adams concert with his fiancée named Christine. And Christine I knew because she was the daughter of a good friend of my mom. So I basically grew up with her when I was a little kid. I knew her for maybe the first 10 years of my life. And then we moved away. I didn't keep in touch. So years later, I see her coming out of the concert with Brian Setzer. I'm like, hey, Christine. And then Brian later said to Christine, I found out later, that was the first time they recognized you first than me. But then she got kind of popular because she showed up at one of the Grammys when Brian Setzer won a bunch of awards for his big orchestra thing that he did and the Jump, Chime, and Wail period and the swing period in the 90s. And she showed up with this weird beehive hairdo that everybody was impressed with. So then along comes country music. It got really popular in the 90s, and I found myself on a country station. And then in the early O's, I was still at this country station called KHAY doing a show called the Santa Fe Cafe.
100.7 KHAY with KHAY's Matt Michaels.
The question is, what cartoon character do you most resemble?
Probably Bugs Bunny.
You resemble Bugs Bunny?
Yeah.
You have big ears?
No, I'm just very sneaky.
Sorry, George. I'm not really interested.
Who's that?
Huh?
Who's that?
Oh, that's my friend Christina.
Oh. You guys out on a date?
Huh? Hello?
You out on a date?
I'm sorry. I'm on cell phone. I can't hear.
Okay. Cell phones work great.
Did you win?
Daryl Worley, I miss my friend Mindy McCready. A girl's got to do what a girl's got to do ahead of that. John Michael Montgomery coming up, and the KHAY Santa Fe Cafe next. What's the craziest Friday you ever had? That is the KHAY Cafe question. And then sure, if you want to tell me what cartoon character you most resemble, that's another good question. I am going to try and make it out to the 2002 Business Expo next Thursday at the Business Expo Trade Show from 5 to 8 at the Hyatt Westlake Plaza in Thousand Oaks. Come see the many outstanding products and services our local businesses have to offer. Enjoy the fun outdoor setting with lots of food, music, and raffle prize drawings. It's the 2002 Business Expo Trade Show happening next Thursday from 5 to 8, sponsored by 100.7 KHAY. Let's mosey on out here. Hey, Felix.
Yeah, where to, Matt?
Take us by Matt Bus to the cafe, please.
We're going to arrive early tonight. I gotta pee.
Oh, then we'll be there really quick. We'll see. Roadrunner Shuttle, when you need transportation for any kind of event, just pick up the phone and call Roadrunner Shuttle at 389-8196.
See the Ford man at Simi Valley Ford for the
Hey,
Welcome
to the Santa Fe Cafe.
Thank you, Joe.
100.7 KHAY Ventura.
Eddie Loveless coming up. Dixie Chicks to White Yoakum, Lone Star, and right now, a request. The Santa Fe Cafe Country Cantina. Want John Michael Montgomery?
Yes. The dance.
Life's a dance.
Yes. Whatever.
John Michael Montgomery does Life's a Dance. Garth does the dance.
Yeah. So it kind of sounds similar.
They do?
Yeah. Well, you know, dance. Have the same word in there.
All right.
It's the exact same song because it has the word dance in it. There's never been a song in the history of music that's ever had the word dance in it, Mike said facetiously, a bit sarcastically, etc. And now Mike brings you the segment, the Mike Matthews New Tunes Feud. These are songs that were emailed to me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com, and I hope you enjoyed that REM song that was playing behind me when I was talking to that guy about the cartoon character stuff. Yes, that REM song. The something of life was the imitation of life, I think. Yeah, great album, great song. Now, here is maybe you'll think is a great song from Canadian alternative legends Cuff the Duke. With the foundation in Canadian roots rock and a penchant for crafting noisy guitar jams, Cuff the Duke's unique blend of genres has consistently escaped the confines of simple classification, earning them an honored place under the umbrella of alternative. Here is their new song, and it is called Season something. Seasons come, seasons go. There we go. All right, let's see if this plays. Now, YouTube is giving me problems. Technology. So wonderful. That's a little bit of Cuff the Duke. Seasons come, seasons go. A little bit of that, or I'll get dinged if I play much more of that. Then there is Seago, the first new song off side B of the new album, Two Boys, is live now. I know, blah, 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 something about... I know that we said on socials, don't call it socials. Please stop calling it socials. A social is something that you do like a dance. And when you dress all up like Bridgerton and you go to a social. But this is not a socials. It's just called social media. What the heck? Anyway, he says a bunch of stuff there and I don't care. So here it is. Seago is the name of this artist and the song Two Boys. It's alright. It's a beautiful life. Did he just cough during the song? Alright. Seago or Sego, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, and then I do not care about that artist, but maybe you care about that artist. Let me know. Or do you care about this artist, Braden Bell, an indie folk producer-songwriter with ballroom gravitas and campfire folk relatability. Here is Braden Bell's song called Box Office Bomb.
Pulling out the costume chest, hit the lights, quiet on the set.
Box Office Bomb, that is by Braden Bell, a little bit of that. So which one did you like best? Cuff the Duke, Seago, or Braden Bell? You can give me a call at this number.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
Will you shut ups? Liberty Nation Freedom Foam for all.
And with all things related to Mike's Daily Podcast, like at the podcast picture, past podcast, the radio station, the best obscure rock found by Mike Matthews. All of that can be found at the website, mikesdailypodcast.com. And with more on that, we go to the mainframe and hear from A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!